the excitement from Saturday, June 5, which saw the 47th running of both the 1,000 and 2,000 Guineas, as well as a thrilling open allowance event that saw reigning Horse of the Year Nipster square off against Derby champion King Arthur. However, race 1 starts us off. A claiming event for thoroughbreds 3-year-olds and upwards going 1,500 meters.
They're off for the first event on this classic day. Flowers 30 will bloom late, came out at the back as they go dashing past the 7. Top Eagle on the rail goes for that lead. Treasure Train out wide. Powerful Red in between horses. Shauna Cruz 4 wide as these group up on the run down the backstretch. Nasdaq Princess as they leave the 6, throttle down in behind them. Just about 4.5 lengths separates the first bunch. Band of Gold, Explosive Charge, and Flowers 30 race as a team. A gap of some 3 lengths opens up to Tarantino and the Reasons just the trailer. They've left the 5, they run toward the half mile, and the Top Eagle continues to hold the advantage under Abigail Abel as they arrive at the half mile marker. 2 lengths in front of the chasing Treasure Train. Shauna Cruz now makes a move on the outside. Nasdaq Princess in the white is on the rail on narrow 4th. A gap of some 3 lengths opens up to Band of Gold and Explosive Charge. They're both 5 lengths off that lead. Flowers 30 has made some progress. Powerful Red is under a ride as they leave the 3. Followed up by Tarantino going nowhere at the moment. And Forget Reasons as they come cruising past the 5/16 and will now come thundering into the lane. Shauna Cruz has taken charge up front as the long-time leader Top Eagle fades right back through the field. Trying to close that gap just against the rail, that's Treasure Train in the orange sleeves. Nasdaq Princess now shaken up for a run on the outside, and widest of them all, it's Band of Gold. But can they catch this Shauna Cruz? Continuing to hold the lead under the many-time champion Omar Walker. Nasdaq Princess continues to try to reel the leader in, but they're inside now the final yardage, and it's Shauna Cruz pumped to the max to hold off Nasdaq Princess. Shauna Cruz beats Nasdaq Princess. 3rd Band of Gold, 4th Treasure Train, 5th Flowers 30.
Challenged in deep stretch by Nasdaq Princess, Shauna Cruz in the competent hands of 6-time champion jockey Omar Walker delivers victory by 1 1/4 length. The winning time 1 minute 39 and 3/5 of a second. Race 2 was a restricted allowance event for native-bred 5-year-olds going 1,400 meters. Horse number 8 Sea Cruise was a late non-starter.
Field in line, they're off. Stacy's Lady and One Squeeze came out behind horses. Cruising Jed comes out running for that lead. Fighting Val B attacking on the rail, and these 2 bob heads early as they come flashing past the 6. He Can Dance is settled back in 3rd, just about 1.25 off that lead, traced by Starboy Flyer in the purple with the white balls. A break of 3 to Divine Lexi asked to go by the rider. Funky Fashion a length and a long tail in behind him as they leave the 5. 3 lengths back to One Squeeze, and Stacy's Lady going nowhere at the moment at the back. They're about to arrive at the half mile, and Cruising Jed continues to cruise out in front as they leave the half mile. He Can Dance now, poised to strike on the outside, needs to find a length and a half. Pushed along, Starboy Flyer now edges closer. Fighting Valby begins to fade, joined and overtaken by Divine Lexi. 3.5 lengths back to Funky Fashion, then One Squeeze and Stacy's Lady as the field leave the 3 and flash past the 5/16. He Can Dance now comes up to challenge Cruising Jed, and He Can Dance gets the closer run to the rail and has the lead. Cruising Jed is fighting on the outside, trying to stay with He Can Dance, who begins to power away. Divine Lexi making ground on the fence. Starboy Flyer, although put to the stick, is running on the spot, but it's He Can Dance giving them all lessons in the quick step. Inside the final furlong, He Can Dance and Shane Ellis bouncing away. A 16th to run. They can't catch this He Can Dance. Divine Lexi is trying his best to do it. He Can Dance begins to slow down, but has done enough to win by 2. Divine Lexi 2nd. Starboy Flyer is 3rd. Funky Fashion 4th. 5th, Cruising Jed.
He Can Dance in the safe hands of Shane Ellis secures the win. Divine Lexi, ridden by apprentice Ryan Lewis, was 2nd to hand champion trainer Anthony Nunes, a 1-2 finish. Race 3 was another restricted allowance event. The 7-horse field went the journey of 1,820 meters. Let's listen in on the commentary.
And we'll be ready. Ready for a start from Denzel Miller. They're off and racing. It is now Get a Good Break on the inside. Ajita, as usual, shows speed. and mix it up along with No Identity. So No Identity as they go around the clubhouse turn with that lead. Princess Lizzie now goes right through, and Princess Lizzie makes the running from Champion Michaela bouncing easily in second. No Identity is third. Ajita is fourth. Racing in fifth, that's a Silent Cat. Right beside Silent Cat, that's Expeditious. And it is now trails at the back. They go toward the 6.5 furlong, passing that 6.5 furlong pole, and it is Princess Lizzie bouncing easy as they pass the sixth. In front of Champion Michaela and Ajita, tracking in second and third. Then comes No Identity racing in fourth. Behind them in fifth, that's Silent Cat. Right beside Silent Cat, Expeditious. And racing at the back is, it is now going toward the 4 furlong point, and it is Princess Lizzie making the running, bouncing easily on that lead. About 2 lengths, maybe 2.5, from Ajita down in second. Silent Cat making a sharp move on the outside, and Silent Cat goes down into second. Princess Lizzie still in front, not too far though. Baby Bower length as they come with 2.5 furlongs to go. Silent Cat, Princess Lizzie, these two mixing it up as they come to the top of the lane. It's Silent Cat on the outside now with the lead. Ajita trying to form a line of 3 with Princess Lizzie. Silent Cat in front, hanging on to that lead. They're bunching up on the rail, and the Princess Lizzie coming right back. So Princess Lizzie and Silent Cat, these two fighting for it. Ajita looking dangerous on the rail. It's Princess Lizzie. Ajita coming forward on the rail. Princess Lizzie hanging on from Ajita. Princess Lizzie wins from Ajita, Silent Cat, and No Identity.
Following a good break, Princess Lizzie managed to stay clear of traffic to complete the trip in 2 minutes 3 3/5 of a second. Ajita, who was second past the post, was placed in fourth, penalized for having caused interference to horse number 3, No Identity. Race 4 saw an 8-horse field sprinting the distance of 1,000 meters, or 5 furlongs straight. Could a cold pursuit by Task Force end up with victory to salvation? Let's have a look.
Field in line. They're off immediately. Task Force breaks and heads for the stands. The Grey Salvation in the red and white races more toward the stand side. Silent Seeker just in behind him with Papito for company. Rum With Me more toward the center, toward the far side, a No Work Permit. Way over on the far side, that's a Weekend Jazz as they spread across the track and come charging up toward us. Salvation, possibly the overall leader. Task Force running a big one near the stands in the red cap. In the center, Rum With Me has catching up to do. Papito now switched toward the far side where Weekend Jazz is running as they make their way inside the last quarter. It is Salvation who holds the advantage and begins to stretch that lead like a rubber band as they run now passing the 3/16th and head to the furlong pole. Salvation in charge under O'Neill Mullings. Inside the last furlong, Salvation continues to lead up, but the stick pulled out in the left hand. Task Force is switched toward his inside, but Salvation continues on. They run to the line and Salvation will win it over Task Force. Rum With Me, Cold Pursuit. Silent Seeker is fifth.
Victory to salvation for 11-time champion trainer Philip Fiani OD. Second went to Task Force, followed by Rum With Me, then Cold Pursuit. Race 5 was another sprint going 1,000 meters or 5 furlongs straight. Cartel with leading jockey Anthony Thomas aboard was heavily fancied in this optional claiming event for horses 3-year-olds and upward.
They're off. Sorting themselves out early on the far side, Lord Ashton took off quickly with a Bimini. Sunshine Cat is with that group. Toward the center, Axelrod is there. As they come charging up toward us, Mr. Ambassador is showing some speed. Near the stands, Cartel races there with Casual Affair toward his inside. Baltusrol is right against the stand fence. Innovator is left out of it completely at this stage along with Laser Light. But the field spread right across the course as they come charging up toward the final quarter. Mr. Ambassador in the center, running pretty quickly. Cartel is nearest to us, and as they make their way passing the 316th, Cartel looks to have the overall lead for Mr. Ambassador. On the far side, Bimini asked to get going. Axelrod is right there, two in behind on the far side, but Cartel continues to hold the advantage inside the final 16th. It is Cartel and Anthony Thomas. Awesome Anthony and Cartel win by almost 3 over Mr. Ambassador. Then we have Azaria Laser Light in front of Nuclear Thunder.
Cartel, ridden by Anthony Thomas for Gregory Forsyth, delivers yet another victory. Second went to Mr. Ambassador, followed by Azaria, Laser Light, and Nuclear Thunder. Race 6 was a claiming event for horses 5-year-olds and upwards. 12 lined up for this contest, going 1,100 meters.
They're off. April Spirit came out at the back with Money Call. Synchronized got a good start. There goes Lady Carmen moving up. Samora is in between horses. The next big thing on the rail on the outside, that's Estelita racing out 3 wide, India Razi, and this group bunches up tightly. Jason's Gold tracks them with Golden Eye. Movie Star races next as they've left the half mile and run toward the 7:16. In behind Movie Star, Pindus Valley in the yellow with the black. April Spirit now beginning to pick up after an awful beginning, and Money Call last. They leave the 3. They run toward the 5:16. They're in the bend for home. Estelita on the outside shows on that lead. Lady Carmen now tracking and trying to close up. India Razi asked to thrust forward on the outside, but they're into the lane. A quarter of a mile to run. Estelita in between horses in the center of the racetrack. India Razi trying to worry Estelita. Lady Carmen now treading water down against the rail, but they flash past the furlong pole. Can they catch Estelita and Dick Cardenas? The wily Dick Cardenas and Estelita, they've enjoyed a 5-length lead. They won't be able to catch Estelita, beginning to tie up a bit. Pindus Valley closing, but too late. Estelita wins by 4 or more over Pindus Valley. Then India Razi, Golden Eye, Synchronize.
Panamanian Dick Cardenas triumphs aboard Estelita for trainer Michael Francis. The winning time was 1 minute 11 3/5 of a second. Second went to Pindus Valley, followed by India Razi and Synchronize. Race 7 was a main condition event for native-bred 3-year-old fillies. 14 faced the starter for what was once again an event going 1,100 meters.
They're off. Madame Catalina. Awful start. Way at the back of the field. Flame Carrier didn't get away well, but the field stringing out early. They're led by a Rocket Lily as they make their way toward the half mile. Rocket Lily on that lead. Tequila Blue beginning to challenge. Let's Get It On now slips down to join Rocket Lily. Tequila Blue found a bit flat-footed when the tempo increased back in third. China Music is the one racing on the rail, overtaken narrowly by Turn on the Light. Beautiful Brand races next. In behind them, Letters in Gold as they leave the 3. Honey Bunch asked to make ground. Flame Carrier recovering. Victoria's Medallion races up next. Azalea Cole is on the rail. Sparkling Tradition out wide, and last of all, it's Silver Soul. Well, a long way back to Madame Catalina as they've turned for home. They leave the quarter pole behind and arrive at the 3:16, and Rocket Lily continues. The afterburners working at the moment. Here comes Tequila Blue now trying to close up. Turn on the Light is the one in the yellow down against the rail. The race is here, and now Tequila Blue grabs the lead. It's Tequila Blue and Robert Alladine beginning to sprint away from them. Tequila Blue coming away from them. Turn on the Light. Switched on too late. Will get second. Rocket Lily is third. Letters in Gold is fourth. China Music is fifth.
Robert Hardball Halladine delivers aboard Tequila Blue for trainer Gary Subrati. Second went to Turn on the Light, Rocket Lily, Letters in Gold, and China Music. Race 8 was a big one. The 47th running of the 1,000 guineas for native-bred 3-year-old fillies. She's a Wonder, the mount of apprentice Ryan Lewis for trainer Ian Passard, was expected to dominate her peers. Likely to have a say in the outcome was the Patrick Fong conditioned Amy the Butcher, along with Tensang Chung's Secret Identity. Let's have a look as the 13-horse field broke going 1,600 meters, with horse number 8 Catalina being a late non-starter.
Is going for that lead. She's a Wonder right alongside, and She's a Wonder narrowly over Silverhawk. Alexa's Dream tracks them in third. Secret Identity running loose there in fourth as they leave the 6. Short Curlin getting closer and slotted in between horses. Hoist the Mast will try new tactics running from off the speed. Sensational ending is 2 lengths back as they leave the 5. Link's trying to make ground with Awesome Choice out wide as they run to the half-mile marker. Sweet Majesty beginning to make slight gains. Amy the Butcher has a lot to do along with Heavenly Glitter, and a long way last it's Jas and Blessings as the Guineas field now leave the 7/16th and run toward the final 3. She's a Wonder attempting to steal it. She's opened up a huge lead. Secret Identity trying now to get to her. Toward the outside, Shore Curly now beginning to pick up. Hoist the Master's made some ground, but still has a mountain to climb from there. As She's a Wonder turns for home. She's in complete command at the top of the lane. It's She's a Wonder, the rider changing his hold and touching her once or twice with the right-hand stick. As they leave the 3/16, She's a Wonder. Will she get the mile? She has a clear lead, and now Secret Identity comes a calling, but still needs to find 5 or more. It's She's a Wonder. She's tough. She's hanging on to that lead inside the final 16th. They're not going to get back to She's a Wonder. She's a Wonder in a wonderful performance wins it, and wins it by 6 or more. Amy the Butcher takes second from Secret Identity, then Hoist the Mast. Shore Curlin is 5th.
She's a Wonder with apprentice Ryan Lewis aboard silences her critics with victory by 7 1/4 lengths. Amy the Butcher came home in second, followed by Secret Identity, Hoist to the Mast, and Shore Curlin. Here's George Davis as he spoke with winning jockey Ryan Lewis and winning trainer Ian Passard.
Ian Passard has given a lot to racing here at Caymanas Park in Jamaica. He's had a few good ones, but never won that won a classic until today. She's a Wonder coming home the winner of the 1,000 Guineas for 2021. Trainer, the first thing, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you so much, George.
Talk about your preparation for today.
Everything was perfect. She's a Wonder. She has really matured. She's a fantastic horse to train, very easy. The preparations coming in were absolutely perfect. The jockey Ryan Lewis gets on her every single morning. He has done a fabulous job in terms of helping with the preparations. We knew coming in that everything was perfect, so we thought we had a very good chance today.
She advertised her well-being in a serious way, the Jamaica 2-year-old stakes last year. As for me, I was convinced that day that this filly is way beyond ordinary with her fighting second place run. What did you do with her from that point to this point?
Really just to try to keep her sound and healthy, to be honest with you. She is really just a good filly. And when you have a good horses, let me tell you, all trainers need good horses. And we have been blessed to have some good ones. She's a really good one, a really easy one. We just try to keep her happy, keep her sound, and she just comes and shows her talent on the track.
Your late father, Harry, put the St. Leisure in the house as a classic victory. You are now adding the 1,000 Guineas. Ian Passard, congratulations to you and your team. I know the team has played a huge part in this.
Yeah, thanks so much, George. And actually, the team starts all the way from the farm. So Ferrari, Bruce, and Devin, those are the guys that have looked after She's a Wonder from she was a baby. She's a homebred. She's out of our stallion Burn Identity. He had first and third in this race, so he's making a good name for himself. And then, of course, everybody at the stable, Dalton, Sergio, the groom, everybody. I think they have done a fantastic job.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much, George.
Waiting now for the jockey, Ryan Lewis, to walk into the shot, toasting his first classic win as well. A young man who has been progressive over the years, and he gets his just reward today. Ryan, congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
I guess today is the reason you wake up so early in the morning and put in so much work at the track.
Yes, it is, because it feels good to win a classic at my age, and I'm thankful.
All right, Ryan, you came out the gate. Many people expected Hoist the Mast to lead, and I wondered, well, what if Hoist the Mast doesn't lead? What does Ryan Lewis do? What did you decide to do? Did they make up your minds for you, or you were always planning to take the lead today?
Well, we all have Hoist the Mast. We wondered if she would take the lead, but she didn't. And my ass find the lead comfortable, so I didn't get flustered. I just keep her in a nice pace, relax her, and ask her for a quarter.
Turning for home, when you came to the top of the lane, you were leading. I doubt you could hear anybody serious behind you. What were you wanting to do that time? Just keep her up to her work or what?
Yeah, I just want to keep her up to her work so we can pass the winning course in front.
This filly, 8 furlongs, do you think she can get further? Does she strike you as having more scope to get 10 furlongs maybe?
Yes, well, you see her potential already, so I have to just relax her more in the longer distance races.
All right, what do you want to say to your fans and your family, those who've supported you all this time? Not many jockeys at Caymanas Park are a classic winning jockey. You can say you are. What do you want to say to those who've helped you to this point?
Well, I want to say thanks to the owner and the trainer and the groom and the staff that get this horse and keep her fit, including myself, I want to say shout out to all my fans that were cheering for me in the race.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Race 9 was a thrilling open allowance contest going 1,820 meters. It saw reigning horse of the year Nipster up against the last year's Derby champion King Arthur. The ever-consistent one-of-a-kind waited to pounce. Here's a look at the action.
An almost perfect start, Sentient ridden to get his position as they go toward that clubhouse turn. King Arthur moving down just in the center of the track. Legality is on the extreme outside as Sentient now picks up the mile pole and runs past it. There goes King Arthur zipping by, and King Arthur and Legality up front, with Legality now setting those fractions over King Arthur. Superluminal reserved in third. Roy Rogers is right there in fourth. Just about 4 lengths separates that bunch. Crimson cruising down on the outside of One of a Kind. Nipster in position a length back. Sentient races up next, and at the back it is Hovercraft as they come rushing up toward the 6th and the 9th event. They head toward the 5. Roy Rogers has speed and now puts it on display. Leads up by some 2 lengths from Legality. King Arthur waited within third. A break back to Crimson in the purple with the yellow cap. One of a Kind now asked to make ground as they leave the 5. Superluminal going backwards. Hovercraft overtakes along with Nipster, and Sentient now trails. They run toward the final half of a mile in the 9th event, the penultimate, and Roy Rogers attempts to steal it and leads up. King Arthur now going in pursuit and nibbling at the lead as they leave the 7/16th, and it's Roy Rogers and King Arthur battling up front. Crimson now shaken up and quickly slips down into third as they slip past the 3. Legality being caught by One of a Kind, then Hovercraft. Nipster has a lot to do, about to be caught by Sentient, and Superluminal almost at a walk a long way last as the field turned for home in the 9th event. It's a quarter of a mile to run. The youngster King Arthur has that lead. Crimson in between horses, and One of a Kind out 3 wide now asked to close the gap as they run toward the furlong pole. King Arthur looks to have given way. It is Crimson and One of a Kind. Here comes the old-timer Hovercraft on the outside. They flash past the furlong pole. It's One of a Kind with the lead. Crimson battling hard. King Arthur rallying on the rail. Hovercraft flying home late. It's close. Could be One of a Kind over Crimson. Then Hovercraft over against the rail. King Arthur a break back to Sentient in 5th.
One of a Kind does it by a head over Crimson. 11-year-old Hovercraft was third, followed by King Arthur and Sentient. Once again, here's George Davis as he spoke with winning trainer Anthony Baba Nunes.
Champion trainer saddles One of a Kind to victory, a thrilling victory over this 9 furlongs and 25 yards contest. Your assessment of the performance, trainer. Congratulations.
Yeah, hell of a performance. When he left the 3/8 pole as word, he had a lot of work to do with 56.5 kilos, but he keeps surprising me every time he runs. He carried the weight today and ran down some good horses.
Every time this horse wins, I remember when it released its maiden certificate, and I asked you whether or not he was one of the major players in your stable at that time. You had a lot of talent, as you do now. You said you weren't quite sure. Hasn't he surprised you since that debut win? That maiden win, rather.
No, for sure. I mean, he's gone from strength to strength. And as I said before, from we gave him some time off after the 3-year-old campaign, he just blossomed into a beautiful 4-year-old. And so once he stays healthy and sound, and hopefully the handicappers don't kill him with the weight, we should have some fun with him.
Last question before we go. These punters are hanging on to your every word. You're rolling 7 on the dice later on in the Guineas, the next race. What about the big boy, further and beyond? How well is he going into the race?
He's good. Everybody is good. We have 16 horses running in the race, and may the best horse win.
Congratulations.
All right.
Anthony Baba Nunes there, the trainer, quick because he has to go and saddle his 7 for the 2000 Guineas, the next race on the card.
Race 10 was an event worth traveling miles to see. The 47th running of the Jamaica 2000 Guineas for colts and geldings had a full field of 16 going 1,600 meters. The dead heat finish in the Kingston between Further and Beyond and Miniature Man meant this event was worth traveling miles to see. The improving Nuclear Noon and Billy Wiz were also expected to feature prominently. Here's track announcer Brian Rickman.
Rising Saint now moves up to test them. Billy Wiz is moving quickly on the rail, and these go for that lead. Alimony in behind them with Rusty. Old King Cole hidden in between horses. Calculus making ground against the rail, attached to his outside Further and Beyond as they leave the 6. Jonker Jeff races just ahead of Sir John. Old King Cole is next. Burn Notice in between horses. T. Brady out 3 wide, and Santorini trails as the Guinness field now leave the 5 and run toward the final half of a mile. Billy Wiz has that lead. Regal and Royal testing along with the Nuclear Noon out 3 wide as they swing into the half-mile turn. Rising Saint is back in fourth, 4 lengths off that lead. Miniature Man now making his move. Alimony races ahead of Further and Beyond, set down on the rail and asked to close up. So John on the outside of John Jeff as they leave the 3. T. Brady races up in behind them. Then comes Burn Notice in the red cap. Calculus Satellite and asked to make up a huge deficit. Father Ryle and Old King Cole race next, then Rusty and Santorini at the back, but it is Nuclear Noon who has turned for home at the top of the stretch with that lead. Harassed now by Miniature Man. Here is Further and Beyond in the slipstream and trying to get to them, but they've run to the furlong pole. Nuclear Noon and a Miniature Man in a heck of a tussle up front. Miniature Man may just have it by the flare of a nostril. Nuclear Noon continues to dig in and fights on. It's Miniature Man beginning to come away, and Miniature Man wins the 2,000 guineas over Nuclear Noon. Further and Beyond is third. Billy Wiz fourth. Burn Notice is fifth.
Miniature Man, partnered by Panamanian Dick Cardenas, delivers a first classic win for trainer Jason DaCosta. Nuclear Noon was second. Further and Beyond, having encountered traffic, rallied for third, followed by Billy Wiz and Burn Notice. George Davis spoke with winning trainer Jason DaCosta along with jockey Dick Cardenas.
2,000 guineas for 2021 goes in fighting style to Miniature Man, trained by Jason DaCosta for his mom Elizabeth, ridden by Dick Cardenas. Jason, congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, what was the plan going into the race? You had 5 horses. Billy Wiz pressed the pace early. Was that what you wanted?
Yes, we tried to get hopefully an easy lead with Billy Wiz and try to come off the pace with Miniature Man.
How did he, well, in terms of how he traveled in the early part of the race, were you satisfied with where he was and what did Dick? What Dick did?
Oh yeah, he was in the perfect spot and he was comfortable the whole way, and Dick rode a perfect race.
Turning for home, Nuclear Noon gave you a strong challenge. Did you have any doubt that you would win the fight to the end?
Well, it was nerve-wracking and it was a good race, you know. Congrats to Auntie Baba on a nice race. You know, he presented his horses very well, and you know, it was a good race. And
this horse went close in the Kingston. Of course, we know that they need controversy. How well did he prepare between that race and today?
Oh, he I thought he improved out of that race. You know, he was training tremendously, and you know, he showed it here today.
Yeah, bred to get a distance of ground. So if he can win the Guineas, do you expect that if he stays sound, he'll be even better over longer distances?
I think so. I think he'll get better as the races get longer.
The pink and white colours must be special for you, special to you, and the fact that this horse comes, the win of the classic race comes so close after Wayne has passed. What does it mean for you and for the family?
Oh, it means the world. This one is dedicated to that, you know. And this is a special one.
Congratulations, Jason. Drink it in.
Thank you. Thank you.
Jason DaCosta there, the trainer of Panamanian, is in the shot. Congratulations, Dick.
Thank you.
Tell me about the race.
The first thing I want is to have a clear break, so I get it, and have an easy run because I have nobody in front of me, like, you know, and interfere on me and do nothing. So I get an easy run.
Turning for home, Nuclear Noon was the challenger. A tough battle down to the end. Was he giving you everything you asked for? Were you in doubt that you would get there?
You know, was a good race, and the horse inside was a tough horse, but my horse never give up, so I get the better out of my horse.
Can this horse get a mile and a quarter, a mile and a half comfortably?
I believe he can get better that race, longer race. Him run better from behind it, you know, sit and.
This horse, trained by Jason, of course, previously conditioned by a man, Wayne, who gave you many winners in your career. What does this mean to you to win this classic for Jason so soon after Wayne's passing?
You know, I'm very happy to win this big race for Jason, you know. He moved new in this track, and I love to win that race for him, you know. Give a nice welcome.
Congratulations, Dick.
Thank you.
Dick Cardenas there, the winning jockey. Northern Giant, the sire of Miniature Man. This is his second classic winner. Princess Annie, trained by Wayne DaCosta, won the Oaks 2 seasons ago. And now Miniature Man comes up to give him a 2,000 guineas win. So big things done by the stallion for the family. And Jason DaCosta toasting this one for his mom Elizabeth, the jockey Dick Cardenas.
This has been another edition of the Caymanas Park Highlight Show, where we relived the excitement from Saturday, June 5, which included the 47th running of the 1,000 and 2,000 Guineas.